The thing about every villain and antagonist is that they think that they are the hero or lead to your story. At least you should make them think that, and by doing that, you are helping to flesh them out the more. In this video, you will learn how to write the perfect antagonist and the perfect villain. And in my last video, I talked about how to create a strong protagonist, and I'm going to be putting the link in the description. So after watching this video, you can always check it out. It is important to know the difference between a villain and an antagonist. A villain is evil. A villain's motives and actions are always evil, but an antagonist is not always evil. An antagonist's plans, actions, and belief always opposes with that of the protagonist. And same thing goes with the villain, because villain is an antagonist, but not all antagonists are villains. Now, the first thing your antagonist must have is belief. Just like a protagonist has a belief, your antagonist should also have a belief. Let's say there is this story that has this kingdom setting, and then it's normal and is known for the first son to always take over the throne after his father, the king, dies. But then the father wants the second son to take over his place. Now, when the king has favored the second son to take his place after he dies, it will definitely cause a fight between the two sons. But it is a belief to the first son that he should be the one to take over the throne. Now, that is the first son's belief. So your antagonist must have a belief, and that is what will help them work towards their plan. So the next thing is to make them intelligent. If you watch the show Henry Danger, you notice that almost all the villains in that show act not so intelligent. And it makes the whole show funny. And this makes it certain that Captain Man and King Danger will always win. But that's not what you want in your story. You don't want the protagonist to look so certain that it's going to win. You want this kind of clash between the antagonist and the protagonist, so that your story can appear very suspenseful. When your antagonist's intelligence is almost the same with your protagonist's intelligence, or even higher than your protagonist's intelligence, it makes the story more suspenseful and more interesting. Because, if your antagonist wins over something due to his intelligence, so it will make them stick to your book and wonder what will actually happen at the end, even if it's obvious that the protagonist will win at the end of every single thing. Despite being smart, you should not make the antagonist's actions look good. They are the bad guys, so they don't do good things. So if you justify their actions because of their backstory or something like that, you are just sending a message that this is a good thing. Now, how to show that your antagonist is intelligent is through their conflicts, which brings us to the next thing: conflicts. When they have conflicts, it's okay for the antagonist to win at some point. The next time, protagonist will win, that kind of thing. That's to show that they have almost the same or similar level of intelligence. Now, one thing you must note is that as these conflicts are happening, make sure that something is lost, either from the antagonist side or from the protagonist side. If the antagonist wins in that conflict, make sure that something is lost in the protagonist side. And if the protagonist wins in that conflict, make sure something is lost at the antagonist side. Remember the story when I talked about the second-born and the firstborn? The second-born is after the throne, and the same goes to the firstborn. Now, let's say the second son finally gets to the throne. The firstborn has lost the throne. So that will now definitely make him want to get back the throne, and it might even turn him into a villain, because maybe what is now in his mind is to kill his brother to get back the throne. Or he can do it a normal way, trying to get back the throne in other ways without killing the brother, which should not make him an antagonist. There must always be a loss, because that will be what will make your character have an impact. Now, this brings us to the next one, which is their plan. Like I said before, the protagonist's plan must always oppose with the antagonist's plan. Just as your protagonist has a plan, your antagonist must also have a plan. And if that your antagonist happens to be a villain, then their plans must be evil. Now, going back to the firstborn and secondborn story. The firstborn's plan is most likely to get back the throne, and secondborn's plan is to remain in the throne. So their plans are different. Like I said before, it's okay to make the antagonist plan to succeed to a point, and then the protagonist, same thing. Remember, don't make the antagonist plan to always be a failure, because by doing that, you are most likely creating a weak antagonist, or one antagonist that is not even intelligent. Now, to achieve their plans, they must make decisions and take actions. Now, those two matters. Remember, the way they act reveals how they are. If he's a villain, what they do will reveal how evil they are. If you're creating a villain, when you create an incident, make sure that the way they react to that incident will be evil. Next thing is their backstory. The best way to create a villain is by giving him every single thing and then remove it. If you have watched the movie Joker, you understand what I'm saying. Going back to the firstborn and secondborn story, when the king said that the second son should take over his place, it obviously made the first son angry or sad or just didn't agree to what the king said because that is his rightful position. By doing this, the king will definitely favor the son, second son, in every single thing that he does than the first son. So at that point, when that thing is happening, to be showing that the king favors or loves the second son more. And this is like the backstory for the first son because he will now know that the king, his father, doesn't love him as much as he loves his second son. And that backstory will explain how this person turned out to be an antagonist or a villain. The last thing on the list is to display their emotions. It's true that your antagonists are the bad guys in your story, but that does not mean that they don't have emotions. I mean, you're trying to portray your characters as humans, and normally humans have emotions. So it's okay to put that emotions in them. You could try putting in little emotions. I didn't say you should make them cry every single time. No, that will, you're most likely creating a weak antagonist when you do that. So please don't do that. You can put in emotions like fear or maybe when they experience love and all that. And I mean, Joker, if I watch the movie Joker loved Harley Quinn. So it's okay for them to experience love, it's okay for them to experience fear, and it's okay for them to lose something and feel that something is lost. So this is the end of this video and I hope it was very helpful. If it was, please subscribe and hit that notification button so you can always get notified whenever I upload helpful videos like this. Till next time.